Okay, welcome back and welcome if it's your first time. I'm guided to talk about two men. Either they are collaborating with each other or they are competing with each other. And they are doing this competing for a divine feminine whom they really don't want to be with. Or rather, they know they can't be with, but they're still collaborating with each other in attacking her. They used to be her past people whom she had walked away from, people she considered as friends, people whom she trusted wholly. But betrayed her in a way that no one can even think about her. And she was just living a life, doing her own things, and trying to uplift herself in some way. But all they could think of and do is just how they could take revenge of her for walking away from them. They were just being proud and using their ego to make actions which were not right. She was being gang-stalked. She was being spied on. She had her activities, her things being sabotaged. And now it's because of some people thinking that she couldn't walk away from them. And it was not only them. There were other people also as well whom she was not in contact with. Because whomever she walked away from, she stopped talking to. But most of them, in general, did not want to accept that she could walk away. And they thought it was their right to still be in her energy, because that was all that they wanted. They only wanted to harvest her energy. And because they were not having access to accessing to her energy and they were blocked, all they could think of is how they could take revenge over her for walking away. So it's a number of people coming together with their own karmic partners. They have karmic partners whom they are not really happy with, but in the outer world they are portraying as if they are happy with their karmic partners, and they're trying not to show how miserable they were. These are past people whom the divine feminine had chosen to trust and accept as people she thought she might even consider as family. But what all they did was just betray her and try to take advantage of her. And it's a wonder, how do you try taking advantage of somebody and at the same time try to create conflict for them in their life, trying to make things difficult for them? I mean, doesn't somebody ever think that when they're doing that, to the person whom they are getting blessings from, that they could easily lose whatever they are getting from that person just by being mean to those people. How do you expect a blessing from somebody whom you want to create conflict all the time? And then at the same time, you expect them not to walk away from you. And you still expect them to give you all the attention which you think you are entitled to from them. That's impossible. No normal person can ever persevere to such kind of a treatment. It's mistreatment and misuse of, it's just misuse of people's trust. And it's an emotional abuse to the other person. And when Divine Feminine felt each and every time she felt an emotional abuse from anyone, she would just walk away and leave those individuals to their own selves. Because she knew if they had the courage to do that, even once or twice, they would always have and she just overlooked it. They would always have the courage to do it all the time. And she had tried very hard to overlook some things because she knew no one was perfect. She also didn't consider herself as perfect. And she was trying to be empathic with people. But the people she had walked away from always tried to take advantage of her and still expect her to show them love, to show them care. And how is that possible? How do you expect love and care from anyone whom you create conflict with or you torture in order to get what you want? And it is only a one-way giving. There is no taking for her. They were only taking, and she was not getting anything. Because all they wanted to do was just siphon her energy. And she had had enough of being abused over it, and so she decided to walk away each and every time she comes across any kind of a character. But this, with time, created a lot of a string of people who ended up having grudges against her because of their egos, because they believed they had all the right and were entitled to siphon her energy without her consent or with her consent, and still be mean or mistreat her whenever they wanted. And that's not right. So because of this ego, these two men, in collaboration with other people, they ended up being a group of people attacking spiritually the Divine Feminine each and every day. And it's almost about a whole year they are doing this. How can people go about doing such kind of things and never get tired? What kind of an ambition is that? And on top of that, God, through different ways, has warned them to stop doing what they are doing. And they're still continuing doing what they are doing. Instead of stopping, they are blocking their own blessings as well as blocking her or her blessings. They don't want her to have anything. They don't want her to develop in any way. They don't want her to have anything good in her life. They just want to see her in misery, just out of ambition and ego and being egoistic, because she walked away from them. And she had all the right to walk away from them, because no matter how much she also tried one way or the other to warn them about certain people or events, and they didn't listen to her, and they chose those other people in place of her trust. They betrayed her. They broke her trust. And she walked away. And they see themselves as victims. How can this be? She is the innocent victim who had her energy siphoned without her knowledge, whereby her energy was being used to feed other people who were her enemies. And yet, she ended up being the enemy, and those other people were the good people. But later on, they still learned that the choice they had made was a mistake. And they became regretful for the kind of choices they made. One is a young man, probably from the States, United States, and the other one is of Asian origin. And these are the main characters, apart from all the rest who are also trying to attack her. There were also other feminine figures who were also attacking her, just out of jealousy. Others were trying to copy her, just out of jealousy. And because they were copying her, they wanted her destroyed. They could not stand that her existence when they were copying her. And they were still not managing with copying her. Copying is easy, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same as the original. Anyway, the thing is, they're putting themselves in the victim position while she is the innocent victim. And they are attacking her each and every day, always wanting to see her in misery, cursing her each and every day, wanting to see her destroyed, and even going to the extent of wanting to unalive her. And they've tried many times, a whole year. Who knows, maybe they even tried even before that, but she was not aware of it. And probably they got their warnings before even, and God punished them with losses, but still they did not learn their lessons. They're not learning their lessons, and they're still continuing attacking. And all because of ego, all because of pride. They cannot think, how can somebody walk away from us? And there are some even feminine figures who believe that if it hadn't been for the divine feminine, they won't be in misfortune, and that's not right. That's not true. She has no control at all over their lives. She's just living her own life on her own without trying to disturb anyone, doing her own things, doing her own activities. But it's not enough for them that she's not even interacting with them. She's not even doing anything but all. But it's not enough, because they still want to slander her. They want to defame her. They want to spoil her name, destroy her altogether, so that she either gets locked up or she gets unalived. And they struggle each and every day to do this. What kind of an ambition is this? And the Divine Feminine, she had trusted them before, gave them all her trust, but they betrayed her. Her walking away for them was a betrayal, but their betrayals against her for siphoning her energy and doing other things behind her back, slandering, defaming, stalking, gang stalking. All these things don't count, but her walking away is a betrayal for them. They've done nothing, according to them. And all because they're listening to lies which they are being told and fed by other people who are just jealous of her. So they ended up having missed opportunities where they could have flourished if they had still been friends with the Divine Feminine, but they missed those opportunities. And all because of their own selfishness. Because they didn't want to surrender to the assignment that they were given by God. They had past lives with the Divine Feminine, whereby in the past they had done something which created karma, and they had to clear that karma in this time so that they are able to move on in a clear way. But they still sabotage themselves again. But God this time said, no, not this time. God is not accepting this time. And it's also because the Divine Feminine in the past lives, in the past energies, there was acceptance of all the betrayals, but this time she's not accepting the betrayal. And that's why God is helping her. And each and every attack they do to the Divine Feminine is an attack to the Most High, to God, because she surrendered to God. She wants to do everything according to God. Because as it is, the whole world belongs to God. The whole world was created by God. Even if you're an atheist and you don't believe in God, can you find it logical to think that you created your own self? There are many secrets about God which human beings don't know. And they still go about as if they have all the power in the world. These two men, the younger one and the older one, they were meant to help her out in different timelines. but they failed their tests. And because they failed their tests, it's like they're blaming her. And she didn't do anything, she's innocent. They should look in the mirror and see the truth about what is really happening. Because probably because of all the things they're doing, they are not able to look in the mirror, and that's why they're in denial. Anyway, I hope this helps somebody. Divine Feminine, keep on persevering. God is with you. The angels are with you. The spirit guides are with you. Your ancestors are with you. Guardian beings are with you. So don't ever think that you are alone. You are loved and you are protected. If you face any kind of ailment, just know it's a test, and you can also pass the test. Trust in God, because God behind the scenes will take care of your issues. And that's all I have for now. Till next time, God bless.